This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hot Takes, the show where I react to your hot takes you left under my comment section all week. Let's jump into it. First video is the Browns plan to compete. It's a video about the Browns plan to compete and what the expectations are for the new regime. Well, not new regime, the re-signed regime. Brian, still a poker player, says, damn, Q got himself a fresh studio. Yes, I appreciate you guys for noticing the whole philosophy with the new studio and the new setup is I wanted to have or incorporate more natural light into the setup and just like space. Like, this is really cool. It's gonna be cool during the watches. I could back up. There's a lot of space here now that wasn't really there, and the old studio was like super dark, and you know, when the sun's not up, you can put the lights on and make the background super colorful, and just a lot of versatility in this set. I kind of feel like it's like having, on a very small scale, it's like having a dome with a retractable roof where like I can let the sun in and we can get them sun vibes on the videos that I'm recording during the middle of the day, and at night I can close the blinds and we get the lights going, and it's a different vibe. It's a more nighttime vibe, right? You know, and just more visual. I'm stumbling over my words. More visual versatility for the viewer is what I'm going for. And hopefully this accomplishes that. And looks nice, right? And maybe y'all was tired of it being so damn dark all the time, right? Because it was like 3 years of really dark videos, right? Well, not dark videos as far as content goes, but darkly lit videos. So, you know, I thought it was cool, and I'm glad that you guys think so. 5 things the Browns need to fix. What were your comments here? Basher, a member, shout out to Basher, and shout out to all the members. I wouldn't be surprised if we took a left tackle in the first round next year. Me neither. I was kind of surprised we didn't take a left tackle in this year's draft, given the options that were available. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns are waiting to use their first round pick in like 3 years on a left tackle. It would line up perfectly with Jet Will's contract ending too. Patrick Hopkins says turnovers. Very valid. The reason I didn't put turnovers on this list is because turnovers are so cyclical. Like, it's hard to predict if you're going to get a ton of turnovers. It's hard to predict if you're going to be a team that turns the ball over a ton. It's one of those things it operates more like bad luck, because a lot of turnovers are bad luck. Like, teams fumble the ball all the time. Only so many of those fumbles are actually recovered by the other team. And that's why fumbles, to me, it didn't feel like something that is necessarily skill oriented as much as it is cyclical. So that's why I didn't put turnovers in here. Browns for real. Q, did we trade for Watson to be an average or slightly better QB? I don't know why people keep defending his play. He's played 11 to 12 games, so that's what we all judge him by. Over the body of work, no one can say he's been good. Here's the problem with that kind of argument, though. You want me to make the judgment for the entire trade based on 12 games, when the trade was not about 12 games. You did not trade for Deshaun Watson for 2 seasons. You traded for Deshaun Watson for 5 seasons. It's a 5-year deal. This is something Andrew Berry even talks about. The length of the contract is what will ultimately decide how this trade is judged. You just have to wait. If he has a bad 3 years, everybody will say the trade was a failure, right? For the next 3 years. If he stinks for the remainder of this contract, that's what everybody will say, and you will be deemed right. But 2 years into a contract, you can't be deemed right, because we don't know. We don't know. Partly because he hasn't played a ton of games. Certainly not a ton of games back to back to back. So that is why it is incomplete to judge this thing as a failure, because you don't think he's produced enough in the 12 games that he's played in. And even when we do evaluate the 12 games, you get mad at what 12 games we evaluate, right? Because if I evaluate the 6 games from last year and let that be what determines my thinking on Deshaun Watson, y'all get, not y'all, not everybody, but some of y'all get mad at that. Oh, well, you got to talk about the 6 games from the suspension. The trade will be judged over the period of the contract that Deshaun Watson signed. If the Browns get 3 great years out of Deshaun Watson in the next 3 years, nobody's going to care what those first 2 years look like. You just got to wait. This is going to be something that is not going to be determined until the writing is on the wall with the Deshaun Watson contract. And whether you're a fan of him or not, you have to admit the writing is not yet on the wall. Maybe at the end of this season, we'll have a better ideal of that. But to determine it 12 games into a 5-year contract is absolutely silly. Just put it like this. Would you have let people write the book on Baker Mayfield in 2 years? I didn't, right? When Baker Mayfield had a bad 2019 and people were making the argument that we should move on, I said, hey, no, give him the 3rd year and see what he does. I made that argument literally on this channel because I didn't think 2 years of football was enough to write the book on him as a quarterback. And he didn't have 3 Pro Bowls in the NFL when he came to the team, and he's not in his prime. So, yeah, that's the issue I find with your argument. If you want me to judge a player's whole stance as the trade on 12 games, I just think that's a bit premature, and I don't think I'm wrong for thinking that, and I wouldn't view it that way for any other quarterback. I don't see why it's appropriate to do it with Deshaun. Why the NFL losing the Sunday ticket is a big deal for Browns fans. The first comment says, to pay $400 to $500 to see my team 17 games is absurd. I agree with you, KR Thunder. Johnny says, if nobody bought these ridiculous packages, the games would be free to watch. People will never wisen up to the fact that consumers set the prices on everything. That is a lie. See, look, this is a lie we try to tell ourselves. Oh, if we just don't buy it, then it won't cost that much. That's not true. The games would not be free for everybody. They would not offer the games for free if nobody bought Sunday Ticket. And the prices are not high for Sunday Ticket. As they mentioned in that lawsuit, the prices are not high on Sunday Ticket because of demand. It's literally to protect their broadcast television partners. They require a higher price. Apple tried to buy the Sunday Ticket partnership and lower the price for Sunday Ticket. The NFL is the one that said, no, don't do that, because we want to make sure that we protect CBS. That is what this is about. This is not about economics. This is not about how profitable Sunday Ticket is. Sunday Ticket is a drop in a bucket when it comes to NFL. I don't even think they care how much Sunday Ticket makes, to be honest with you. It's not a big deal to them. The reason that Sunday Ticket is expensive is not because of market dynamics. It's because that's what they want to do to protect other things. If nobody bought Sunday Ticket would still cost $500. And people need to buy Sunday Ticket because not everybody is trying to stream their games illegally. Not everybody is tech savvy to do that. Not everybody wants to watch their games on a laptop. Not everybody wants to figure out how to finagle it so they can put that stream from their laptop to their television. Not everybody is able to do that. But what most people can do is stream on a TV stick, right? Or their smart TV. And what's available on most smart TVs is NFL Sunday Ticket. You cannot keep blaming the consumer for companies being anti-consumer. That is silly, right? Because these practices exist for a reason, and there's a reason that we have antitrust laws to protect consumers, and this is one of the times where they're trying to protect consumers. You can't blame consumers for a company being anti-consumer. It's very counterproductive. Easy Weave says, as somebody who has poured thousands into DirecTV for years, there could be a potential downside here. These networks rely on those audiences to sell advertising in big agencies. The NFL relies on networks to shovel enormous piles of cash at them every year, more than anything in annual impact. If the salary cap stops growing at worse, it gets lessened. Be very bad for us depending on how the course is and how long this play out in court. So two things on this, right? Because I've seen this take go around. Will this affect the Browns salary cap? I don't know. And I don't think anybody really knows what the mechanisms are with that. I don't know if the NFL is allowed to take, or not the NFL, if the NFL owners, because that's who's getting sued here, all 32 owners, not necessarily the NFL itself. I don't know if they're allowed to take their losses from this lawsuit out of NFL revenues. Just doesn't seem possible. Keep in mind also, the league makes about $17 billion a year, right? That's league revenues, about $17 billion is what they report. So you know they make more, but that's what they report, $18 billion a year. The NFL Sunday Ticket lawsuit is for $4 billion, and that is over a course of 30 years of business. You do the math on that, I mean, Sunday Ticket was worth to the NFL about $100 million of revenue a year. And that's just counting like the raw numbers. Them not being able to sell Sunday Ticket like they have is not going to change revenue. The NFL does not make as much money as people think off Sunday Ticket. The NFL makes most of their money off of, as you mentioned, TV broadcasting partners. Now, let's get to that part of the question. Will a better Sunday Ticket package make it so that these broadcasters lose money and then pay less for NFL broadcasting deals? I don't think so. One, CBS, Fox, ABC, they need the NFL more than the NFL needs them. Maybe when the NFL started this thing with Sunday Ticket, that was at a point to where the NFL needed the networks more than the networks needed them. And that's why the NFL put those rules in with Sunday Ticket to protect the networks, because they needed to. But now the NFL is bigger than CBS. If they told me that the Browns were going to play on Ion, then guess what? On Sunday, I'm watching Ion. I'm not watching CBS, because wherever the Browns play, I'm watching. So I don't think the NFL really even needs that rule. They have much more leverage than they had when that rule got instituted 30 years ago with Sunday Ticket. So they'll probably just throw it out, offer some better Sunday Ticket packages, and nothing really will change. As far as the revenue for the television stations, it's not really going to change. The people who are watching Sunday Ticket are not the bulk or even a considerable percentage of the people who watch NFL games on Sunday. The 99% of people who watch games on Sunday watch the games through their local CBS Fox affiliate. It's like most of the people, an overwhelming majority of the people just watch whatever's on the local CBS station. Us diehards in this community, we watch the other games on the other station, but we are a vast minority of the people who watch NFL football games. So I don't think the revenue part of it is going to be that big of a deal. I don't think this is going to affect the TV broadcast rights, because CBS is not going to be willing to lose the NFL to get a discount because now the NFL can offer better Sunday Ticket packages. They just can't afford to do that. They need the NFL more than the NFL needs them. The NFL could literally partner with any company they want to broadcast their games, and that company would be the most watched company in the NFL, in television. So I don't really think it's going to affect that. Maybe if it were 30 years ago and the NFL was at a weaker place, sure, and television was at a stronger place, but the NFL is like one of 5 things keeping people from cutting the cord. Those companies need the NFL. The NFL don't need them. The NFL could put all their games on Amazon Prime and everybody would just buy Amazon Prime. It would just be that. If you had to buy Amazon Prime to watch the Browns, you gonna do that, right? Like, that's just what it is. The NFL is that powerful. So Now, I don't really buy into how much this is going to affect the salary cap. Honestly, I think there's a chance that offering a better Sunday ticket package makes the NFL more money because, yeah, people are going to want to watch their local team, but maybe people just want to watch more football. But it's too ridiculous of a price right now. So, yeah, I really don't buy the doom and gloom model. And be wary when you hear stuff like that. And it's not that the people who are saying this are doing this on purpose, but NFL owners don't want to change Sunday ticket or change the status quo or pay out the settlement, most importantly. So they're going to put a lot of garbage out there in the public discourse to make you turn against this settlement. But remember, this is a good thing for you. If the NFL gets sued and if they have to pay $4 billion because Sunday ticket was a illegal business practice, is what they've said, then that's good for you because you get better Sunday ticket prices. They get punished. And guess what? It's the NFL. Nothing is really going to change. Outside of like some kind of dramatic societal change, nothing's going to change with that because CBS, Fox, ABC, NBC, they need the NFL because all of those channels, their most watched things, NFL. So, yeah, I think the revenues will be fine, basically. And I think a lot of the worry coming about the salary cap is NFL owners trying to turn its fans against the ideal of the NFL being held accountable for being anti-consumer, which is hilarious to me. But yeah, don't forget, the NFL's anti-consumer when it comes to Sunday ticket. And they're not pushing out any agendas to be beneficial to you. They don't care about that salary cap. And they will abolish it if it was convenient to them. So I don't buy that one. Nick Chubb injury update. Wake up. It's a Nick Chubb injury update. Mark Brown says, I don't want him to come back too early, even if the Browns really need him. Chubb completely healthy is more important than wins, in my opinion. Hey, man, if Chubb is healthy to play, Chubb is healthy to play. You just got to let the process play out. Nick Chubb is not being rushed back to play football. If he plays week 1, that's because he's ready week 1. If he plays week 4, that's because he's ready week 4. We need to not assume that if he comes back before when you thought he would come back, that is him coming back too early. But that's it for Hot Takes. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Y'all have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.